I am going to be spending as much time as possible in my cupboard today because the weather outside is affecting my nervous system, and I don't really think that we talk enough about how the weather affects neurodivergent people. Something that I don't think I hear talked about that much, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, is like how much the weather and temperature can really affect neurodiverse people. So that's what I'm going to try and talk about today. Welcome to day 27 of the 11:11, where I attempt to talk for 11 minutes and 11 seconds, unscripted and largely unedited, about something. And this being the last week of January, the last week of the challenge, I am dedicating to neurodiversity. And so I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about today, but then I found myself needing to stay in this cupboard. This is like where I start my day. Like I get up out of bed and then I come into my cupboard, and I keep referring to it as a cupboard because it is a cupboard. It was a cupboard that I converted into what we have now here. It's been different things, but right now this is it. I sometimes call it my creative cupboard because it's full of things that I can do creatively. It's got pencils and pens and colours and scissors and paper and glue and stuff like that. It's also got books that I can read and tarot cards. It's got a disco ball. It's got it also, like, if I need to switch between tasks, then this is a good place to be. Like, it's a good base to have because kind of everything is here and downstairs. Well, downstairs I just mean under this desk. And so that can feel really good where, like, you know, I just need to follow my gut a bit with like switching between things. But today, with the weather, has suddenly, like, the wind is south, so it's coming kind of into I can hear the wind, you know? Like, I don't know, I can hear the wind. I always thought I was overly dramatic by how much the weather affected me. Like, I can hear the wind and I get irritated and I feel anxious. The colour of the sky, it's the wrong colour. It's got the lid on. I can't, where's the blue? I can't, it's so oppressive. It's just, and I just thought, I was like, oh my goodness, you're so dramatic. Other people seem to manage. But you know what? If this gets to you as well, we're not dramatic. This is to do with sensory processing. This is to do with the fact that we process sensory stimulus differently. So some people might be hyposensitive. I don't think that's me. But, you know, some people might have difficulty with hyposensitivity because they don't know when they're cold. They don't know that they're getting cold or too hot or whatever. So that can have its own problems. That's not an experience that I can speak from. I can speak from the hypersensitive. So, yeah, like, honestly, the sea is probably a 5 to 7 minute walk. Oh my goodness, my stomach is making noises. 5 to 7 minute walk that way. And on days like this, I feel like I can hear the waves picking up the pebbles under the sea and turning them over. Like, I feel like I can hear that constantly, and it's like, if I want to hear that, I'll go to the beach and I hear that and it's lovely. But anyway, so that's why we're in the cupboard today. And actually, like, weather isn't just this neutral thing. It's not that surprising, really, that people who are neurodivergent might be more affected by the weather, because the weather comes with noise and it comes with light and pressure and humidity and temperature, and these are all things that we can feel. And, like, did you know, for example, that even a temperature change of as little as 4 degrees Celsius or 7 degrees Fahrenheit can have massive impact on our functioning. Because I didn't know that, and I think that's kind of wild. Barometric pressure, brightness, wind, they can all cause us to feel out of sorts or distracted. So in here, as well as having lots of things that I might need, if I need to just quickly switch tasks, it also has lots of controllability. It's got some sound conditioning, so it is quieter in here. I can't hear as much of the weather. I can control how light it is. And now I'm in the dark. I can control how light it is, and I can, just generally speaking, I can control the temperature. It's quite toasty. Like if it's cold out there, it's probably going to be nice and toasty in here, or it won't take long before it is with this small space and just this body heating it up. And conversely and miraculously, and I'm so grateful for this, if it's too hot for me out there because the sun is coming through the glass, then I can come in here and I can't, and I'm nice and cool. But I don't think I realised that, certainly at the time when I was converting this into an office, I was not aware that I was actually building myself an accommodation, because at the time that I was doing this, I didn't have any kind of diagnosis. I'm not sure if I'd even started the process for my diagnosis at the time that I was converting this space into what it now is. But now that I have, I'm just so grateful for it. It really calms me down. Before this, I actually had it as an audio cupboard, and I had a lot more sound conditioning in here. I had like sound panels on the walls. I've moved that to a different cupboard because I wanted to be able to stand up while doing audio work. But while that was an audio cupboard, and at that time I wasn't even trying to get light in here or anything, I could come in here and I could close the doors and have the lights off, and I would sit on this level here and just be in total peace and darkness. And it was a bit like a DIY sensory deprivation space. Not, like those pools. I don't know if you've ever been in those pools, which are weird because they're sensory deprivation, but I mean, you're wet, you're in water, and you do reach the edges. I don't know. Anyway, I think that we're possibly a little bit off topic. So, yeah, like I said, this is, if you can relate to any of this and you're like, oh, I can't, today, the weather, and you feel like a bit of a drama queen, a bit of a princess, you're not okay. It's okay. It's natural. What you're feeling is natural. Give yourself permission. Don't be so hard on yourself. I find winter a lot more challenging than summer, but I know that other people have the opposite reaction. And one of the things I find so hard about winter is just like the clothing is heavier and it feels scratchier and stiffer and constraining. That's another thing that I've noticed that I need to be like really careful of. Like the clothes that I wear have to be super comfortable now, and I thought that was just me getting older and being less willing to suffer for fashion. But I actually think it's because I can't have the distraction. Like I just cannot have the distraction. Clothes labels. If they scratch me once, that's it, they're gone. I don't care if it's designer. I don't care. It's got to go. I don't have much designer stuff though. So I'm still figuring out what regulation actually looks like for me. But this, I've realised I inadvertently built myself an accommodation space. And I'm lucky enough that I spend quite a lot of time working from home, and when I haven't booked a job and I'm not on stage or set or in some rehearsal space, I can be in my little creative cupboard if I need to be, which is lovely. I'm wondering if you can relate to this, if you have any weather hacks, like, if you're somebody who's highly affected by changes in weather, what are some of your workarounds? What are some of your hacks and your tips and your tricks? I would love to know. Yeah, but I'm not avoiding the world in here. I'm actually just creating my comfort space. And I really do find it soothing. And obviously, if this was all the space that I was allowed to have and to live in, it would be different. 11:11.